What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be about signs the relationship has potential, okay? Signs that this thing could work out for the long term. Now, jumping right into this, we ain't got no time to waste today. The first sign that a relationship has real potential is you can be bored together, okay? I meet a lot of clients who have these relationships that they're starting that are so chock full of entertainment, so chock full of activity, so chock full of excitement. They actually haven't sat long enough with that person to figure out if they're compatible in the quiet, right? COVID killed a lot of relationships. A lot of relationships were built on the entertainment, the money that would be spent, the restaurants you'd go to. COVID killed a lot of relationships because it showed a lot of people that they could not be bored together. First of all, that mental health-wise, they couldn't sit with their own thoughts, let alone help regulate each other's thoughts through communication and interaction, right? The interdependence that happens emotionally and spiritually and mentally when you can't do anything is different than when you have distractions, when you can go to the mall, when you can go shopping, when you can go to a restaurant, when you can go to an amusement park. It's different. When you can sit with someone in the quiet, when you can be bored with the person and from a spiritual place still be at peace with that, from an energetic place still be excited to be there, right? From an emotional place still be content with doing nothing but doing it in the presence of someone, you have potential. Too often a woman is asking me if a guy wants her, if a guy likes her, do I think he cares about her? Do I think she's special? Do I think he's taking her seriously? Do I think he's falling for her? And I asked her, well, what do you guys do together? How do you guys talk? How do you guys hang out? What you do? And she's all like, well, we went here, we went here, we went here, we went here, we went here. I said, well, when do you have time to connect? When is it just about y'all? Well, we haven't done that. We have a really great day, so, and we did this and so. I was like, okay, well, when has he been bored with you? If you're not having sex with him, if you're not having dinner, if you're not having fun, is he around you? Can you be bored with him? Do you even want to be around him when there's nothing to do, right? People who can be bored with each other and who are still enjoying that portion of it, who just want to be around each other, that tells me that they both have potential to really grow. That tells me that they have potential to really go the distance because most of life is boring. Most of life is after work conversation, before bed conversation, before work conversation. Most of life is chilling on a Sunday, doing nothing, finding TV shows that you can both agree on, paying bills, running errands, not being fun, right? The bulk of life is pretty much calm. Can you be bored together? Do you require entertainment to be around each other from the very beginning? Or are you itching to just be with each other? I know immediately when a woman's talking to me on the phone about the new love interest that she has, when she tells me he just came over and we just do nothing. We just sit, we just chill, we just are there. He doesn't try anything. He's just there. We just cuddle, we just watch TV, we just sit in silence, we just do nothing. And he's there. He keeps trying to come back over. I don't know if it's like, if it's too much time we're spending together. I don't know what it is, but it's like, it's kind of boring, but we're having a great time. We do stuff sometimes, but he doesn't require a lot. I know she's going to end up in a relationship. You don't have to tell me because he's not leading with activity. It's not all about activity. It's about the focus. It's about the energy. Moving on, the second sign that you have potential with someone, that you're compatible for the long term is neither of you want to win over each other. Your conflict communication styles complement one another, okay? Too often people get in debates or they get into fights or they get into arguments, and in conflict, they're not compatible. One person comes from a louder house where everybody argues, everybody yells, everybody talks over, everybody gets a little bit disrespectful. They're knocked down, drag outs, and they wake up the next day and they're fine, right? They have an expectation of just being okay. Some people can have those types of moments with you and not think anything of it. Other people, if you talk to me crazy, I probably ain't gonna talk to you for a few days. I need some space from that. I need to then have a talk to you and figure out why you thought it was okay to talk to me like that. I don't just get over stuff because I didn't grow up in a house where people were yelling and fighting. I grew up in a house that had peace. My conflict communication style is to preserve the peace. So when someone disturbs my peace by being chaotic and bringing me chaos, it takes me a while to get over that. Not two people that come from a loud household that yell and fight and cuss, that don't get too violent, but yeah, just they kind of go at it like aggressively. They can both wake up tomorrow and be cool. They fight like cats and dogs, but it looks crazy on the outside, but for them, it's not emotional. It's just how they communicate. they can be fine. But two people who have a peaceful demeanor, who like to discuss calmly, they need to be together, right? When your conflict communication styles agree with one another, and you don't have one person saying things that another person's having trouble processing because they don't come from that background, or you have one person that doesn't know how to discuss and won't learn how to discuss because they like to yell and cuss and fuss, it's not going to work. So again, that maturity, that adaptability, especially in conflict, it always tells me whether or not people are compatible. And if you're passionate and you like to get loud and you like to go off, but you have a forgiving heart because you've been accustomed to that, right? And you just don't take it that damn personal because that's how your family is, then that's beautiful. As long as you find someone who communicates like that or who understands it because they've witnessed it, they've been around it. Their inner child isn't broken by someone like that. But you don't want to traumatize someone who doesn't know how to deal with that. Because in adulthood, we don't make very many adjustments. In adulthood, what we've seen in childhood is generally the law. And to that same degree, somebody might think you lack passion or you lack emotion or you really don't care about the conversation if you're very calm and you're discussing when they're trying to argue, because they've learned that people's passions and people who care are a little bit louder or a little bit more aggressive, right? And so they're looking for you to care. They're looking for you to really engage. And sometimes they feel like they're not getting enough from you, that they're not seeing enough emotion from you. Again, I think that comes from an unhealed place if you need people to be that up for an argument. But still, if your communication styles are similar and you understand each other from that place in conflict, you have potential to grow, you have potential to stay. Moving on, the third and fourth signs that you're capable of growing and staying moving on, the third and final sign that you're capable of going the distance with someone is, it's kind of like two, it's 3 and 4, is you're both adaptive and you accept each other. Again, you're both adaptive and you accept one another. Too often people enter relationships with rigidity. I've had a lot of clients that meet a guy who has his walls, his boundaries, his standards, how he likes things to be. And when she comes to his house, she has to be that perfect person. And she's always stepping on a new rule, right? He's maladaptive. No matter what, it has to be done this way. Maladaptive people don't generally do very well in relationships unless they're with a person who's super adaptive and allows them to be run over, allows themselves to be run over, right? So in healthy relationships, both people have free range to explore themselves, to adjust, to grow, to evolve within reason without necessarily putting someone else out, right? And so when people accept each other and they're both adaptive, right? Adaptive to one another, it shows me that they can go the distance. Sometimes a man's humor isn't what a woman wants, what a woman prefers, but she accepts that part of him because she loves the other portion of him, right? Sometimes a woman, her attitude might not be what a man prefers, right? But he loves her and he accepts her because he sees the person she is, the human being she is. He loves her spiritual energy, her feminine power. He might attach himself to another piece of her greatness and focus on that and adapt to her lower points, adapt to the things that he doesn't necessarily prefer. Not to say that he's going to allow her to be unhealthy and abuse or traumatize him in that way. And not to say that a woman might do the same. But when people are adaptive and when people accept you for who you are and they're deciding to love you from what you are at this place, right? Hoping that you grow, obviously, hoping that they themselves grow, but taking what you are right now, that's good enough. That shows that you have potential. Too often a guy will get with a woman, he'll be a trainer. I hear this all the time. A guy get with a woman, he'll be a trainer, she'll be out of shape. The relationship starts with him trying to get her to lose 30 or 40 pounds. And yes, they're having a great time together. But his main goal is to change this part about her so that she's good enough for him. If that's the mindset from either party, that, oh, he's really shitty over here, but I'm going to get that together. We're going to change that. If you have to come into a relationship changing anything about a person, right? If it's a real goal for you, if it's a real goal for you to change something about a person when you get with them, you probably don't have the potential. Most of the time, people have wanted to change the same things about themselves and disappointed themselves. Evolution takes many years. It takes spiritual growth. It takes epiphanies. It takes paradigm shifts, not just somebody coming into your life saying, hey, I don't like that, change that. Right? And so when you can't accept a person for everything they are right now, of course, with the hopes that they change, it's not to say that you can't want for change, hope for evolution. But if the idea that you're going to be with them for the long term includes something that has to go, if it's like, well, I hope you can get this together because that's going to be a deal breaker. And it's already what he's showing you 3 or 4 times. Y'all don't have no potential because he's probably going to disappoint. Same thing with women. If a guy comes into a relationship and the way a woman talks, the way a woman acts, the way she relates to men in general, her nature to be more flirty. If these are things that you have to change about her, you have to stuff this portion of her down, you have to mute this portion of her or him, then you don't have a chance. Because most of the time you're seeing people's instincts at play, and people can't change their instincts. They can only change their behavior. And changing your behavior against your instincts feels like a betrayal of self. So it doesn't take a lot of time at all for a person to start resenting you for the portions of themselves that they have to stump out, or the portions of themselves that were not good enough. Now, again, we were talking about weight. Weight is different. Some people don't like their weight. They're already working on it. They just need help. I can see that. That doesn't mean you should come into a relationship saying, okay, if you lose 40 pounds, we're going to get together. I've literally had clients tell me a guy told them to lose 40 pounds and then they could be together. As if you thought that the same human being was not going to eventually grow that 40 pounds back. Maybe 5 years, 10 years down the line, but you're telling me that this is the goal, or you're not going to you're not going to talk to this woman. Like those types of things. If you keep that job, a lot of women do this with jobs. They say, if you keep that job, if you don't get a better job, I'm going to go. You're 38. You are what you kind of are. And yes, people do career changes all the time, but it generally comes from an instinct of ambition. A man who's 38 who hasn't shown ambition yet might not ever show ambition. So if you come into the relationship thinking, well, you're nice, you're a painter, you do this, you do that, it's cool now, but I need you to go back to school, or I need you to do this, and so I need you to be different. I need you to become a high value man at some point. It's not fair to start a relationship needing to change anything about a person. When I talk to clients and I know for a fact that they have potential, it's because the person they're talking to is good enough as is right now, despite their flaws. And that person feels the same way about them. So that's why I don't mind preferences. I don't mind selectivity. I don't mind when people are picky, because you need to be able to accept your partner, because that resentment will break the relationship up. That resentment will cause you to cheat. That resentment will cause you to seek out the attention of other men. That resentment will cause you to start talking to him crazy and being loud to him and disrespecting him. That resentment will cause you to talk about your man behind his back. That resentment will cause you to flirt with other guys or answer DMs. That resentment is what breaks up the relationship. That resentment causes you to not care about his needs or his feelings. That resentment causes you to not care if he's opening up, or if he's shut down, or if he's been hurt by you. That resentment causes you to hijack all the arguments about your response to the truth he gave you. That resentment cuts you off from being receptive to his well-being. And so I don't want people to have resentment. And it goes both ways. Anyway, like I said, these are the signs that you're compatible. If you can accept a person, you're adaptable to each other, and you start to fit like a glove, like a couple of Legos, just because you are okay being strong where he's weak, he's okay being strong where you're weak, you can go the distance. And I'm hoping many of you find that. Anyway, follow me at CatVic24 on Instagram. Listen, for those of you who've been waiting on the CatVic Financial Education channel, I'm in the process of getting licensed as a financial advisor. I know I said I wanted to start the channel kind of as a student, but then I decided, well, I'm the one passionate about finance. I'm the one passionate about these products. I'm the one that studies this crap for no reason at all and talk about it all the time with my brother and with my friends and my cousins at the gym. I might as well start helping people in this way, because no one was there to help me. I'm currently, again, in the process of getting licensed as a financial advisor. I'm working on license 2 of 4. It won't be long, but when I start and actually sign my contract to become a financial advisor, I won't actually be able to make content on YouTube. I won't be able to promote it on YouTube, talk finance, even say the word money or financial product across any channel or social media I have. Because of that, if you want to work with me, or if you're a person who wants to look into investing, retirement planning, estate planning, tax strategy, or anything in the realm of fortifying your financial future, right, through education and potentially making a move or taking some action, text me directly the word money at 614-254-6633. Okay? 614-254-6633. If you text me the word money, you'll be on my list, and I'll start giving out free sessions to people who are looking for a financial advisor, are looking to be educated on their specific circumstances, educating people on their options and how they can fortify their financial futures and the futures of their family. So again, text me the word money if you're interested, if you want to get on my list. If you wait till I'm licensed, it will be too late, because I will not be able to mention my services or my company on YouTube at all. So as soon as I become an actual financial advisor, you won't hear from me in that capacity. So get on my list now and text me the word money. With that said, follow me at CatVic24 on Instagram. I'll get with y'all later.